This is, in my opinion, the most insane game of Hearthstone. Actually, this isn't even my opinion. This is just a straight up fact. This is the most insane game of Hearthstone that is ever played, and we are going to watch it together because there may be some people that have never seen this before. But the other reason why I want to show this is because I want to prove that Hearthstone esports is crucial in order to prolong the longevity of Hearthstone, but to also show that esports is just so freaking cool. So we are going to watch, in my opinion, the most insane game of Hearthstone that has ever been played. Let's watch this together.
And invested in this.
Turn it down a little bit. Also turn down my actual volume.
It's in the opening hand.
There we go. Alrighty, cool.
And this matchup on this stage,
but yeah, this was oh god, what meta was this? So this was
might be
right after
for this build of the deck. Because
Old Doom,
Farm,
I think? What came out in 2019?
Has
Hold
an
on a minute.
immensely high win rate when it's kept in the mulligan or when it's drawn in the mulligan.
I remember correctly, it was
and
Old Doom. Oh, it's Descent of Dragons, right?
On Twitter, who put this into words that I was looking for.
Wait, no, this was
When
before
this
was before Descent of Dragons.
Plan for it long
So this was Saviors of Old Doom. This was Saviors of Old Doom, I'm pretty sure.
And you can make that refarm as powerful as possible when you play it on turn 7.
Crazy there are so many crazy moments in this game. If you've never watched this, you are in for a treat.
He's put his money where
Okay, we're technically covering up Hunterace's mana.
This matchup as well.
So let me do something real quick.
This is a very slow control deck that relies on exhausting all your resources, and it does not have infinite value, not in the sense that Dr. Boom has.
All right, there we go. There we go.
It is a value engine,
the good place to put myself.
But it is not as oppressive.
Yeah,
it's
so
this is an
wait, is this Rise? Wait, was this Rise of Shadows?
By a stream of endless
I'm pretty sure this. Okay, this is either Rise of Shadows or Old Doom. We see an Old Doom card, then we'll know.
The World Championship final.
Nothing like roping out the one drop, man. There's gonna be a lot of roping in this series because keep in mind there is the title of World Championship on the line. You rope these games. You think about every single decision in this game.
Viper is here to teach us one way or the
People
other.
were playing Quest Shaman and Old Doom. This was pre-Doom in the Tomb. Yeah, so this actually was the end of Rise of Shadows then.
As far as I'm concerned, so.
And with Magic Carpet, that makes a lot of sense actually. That was right when Lackeys and this was the last time that I think that Zulok, a legitimate Zulok, saw play.
Double Ancestral Healing, one of the most controversial cards I'd say to be running main deck in your Shaman in this tournament.
Oh yeah, this was also Peanut Shaman coming from Hunterace, Control Shaman.
Okay.
If this was me, I probably would have coined out the carpet. But that is not the play to be making here. Yeah, this is 100% the play to be making here. This is why I'm not a world champion.
Most importantly is a juicy target.
Destroy minion, get 2 lackeys in hand, not bad.
Okay, well,
yeah, dude, Carpet Warlock was an insane deck for some people.
Can I answer them? And these next few draws are going to be big. Hagatha's scheme.
Yeah, Hunterace having absolutely nothing in hand.
Yet, but by the time he gets to turn 5, might just have enough damage to clear the board.
But just like look at the stadium though.
That was the one to draw.
This is the power of esports. And it's just like, this is the pinnacle that people want to grind to. This is the reason to climb ladder and to do tournaments. I really want Hearthstone esports to come back to this moment because I believe this was the peak. This was the peak of Hearthstone esports.
The fact that you're debating a small Pyromancer clear here.
Oh, dude, I wonder, what are we going to do here? Are we just going to totem?
Dropping an acidic Swampoos into this board. Not much of a bluff. You'd probably just do that anyway. But there are things that you have to represent. So
like, the reason why he's roping here is because he's trying to think about, like, future outs. It's like, how am I going to set up? What does my opponent possibly have in hand? He's got the Hagatha removal card in hand. But I feel like this was like what I believed back in the day. But the reason why I feel like people rope here, so that way it makes it that much harder for the opponent to kind of get an idea of what's in your hand. Like, you want to, like, this is like a way of, like, mentally fatiguing your opponent. And if you can outlast the opponent's fatigue, that's why roping is super important.
He wants Viper to
think of it this way. It's like you're bringing down your opponent to your level and beating them. Like, you're bringing them down because they have to think more. Oh, wait, yeah, this is also the spell damage totem. Also, the quality's like, why is it that bad? There we go. Oh, that is so much better. Oh, it's like I put on a clean thing of glasses. A few days after the set launched, if I remember correctly. Yeah. What's going on, Ulticon?
lightning storm.
Do anything
whatever
with
other
key spell
nonsense
damage totem in
idea
the
that
flesh.
he's trying to get into Viper's
Chad
head.
spell damage
Think
totem
he's a
entered the
little
stage. It's
transparent.
all over
Viper should
now,
just be able
dude.
to play his game
That
here, but
Hagatha's,
remember, he
oh
does
god,
also
Hagatha's
have to
scheme is
consider
doing a lot better
how
now.
much attention he wants to pay to that late game plan of Arcville Reform.
Yeah.
I take the computer of,
What is his plan?
wait,
like,
what?
that's the problem, isn't it? Like, I actually just don't
I
know
take
how
the
much he's supposed to
computer
even play. He's just
of
played
my
2 more
girlfriend,
minions.
but I already
Yes, he
lost
has
by
life
forfeit.
tap.
Oh,
But
you
we've
took it
also
away from
seen
her?
Rafam played in a position where there weren't that many cards left in the deck.
Right.
which
But yeah,
means we
Shaman,
don't have
okay,
tons of
gets the
value.
other
It's like, okay, 5
Hagatha
random
scheme.
legendaries on average are quite bad.
Just half the totem here, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have no answers to these questions. Second scheme
Nerfed
means
knife
there's a
juggler
backup
as
player.
well. Hey man, he
But
ain't
second
nerfed
scheme
no
also
more.
has
Look at
a
him, he's a
whole lot of
3-2
nothing to
again.
do yet again for
He's a
Hunterace.
3-2 again, all planned.
I will
Is that
say
the original
there was
knife juggler? It is
truly
now.
Explosive start from Viper. There was no, unanswerable flame imp that's been
Trying to go to his
hit for
house
6
and
or
take his
7
computer,
so
but it
far.
was too late.
It's-
Aw, man.
it's slow
Imagine if
Zoom
Life Coach
turn,
was playing
I'll say.
esports in these times.
But it is
Every
starting
match
to
would
heat up
take
a
a
little bit now with his
30-minute
knife
minimum.
juggler
I mean,
representing
dude, everyone
chunk
at
of
this
damage.
point was roping. Keep in mind, dude, like, this is a world championship. You need to think about every single
And are we just
decision.
going through the same song
You have to
and
think
dance
about
again
what is my
with
opponent going to
Hunterace?
do? How am I going to counteract
Waiting
it?
for the
Is it
rogue.
too
There
soon
are
to play
some
this card?
more
What cards am I
considerations
hoping to
this turn,
find?
Both in cards that he
These are
could
all
be
in very
representing
important
and thinking about
decisions.
playing, but also in terms of legitimate concerns like, do I hex this knife juggler, which is a real question.
Yep.
Somewhat, yeah.
What's the
It is a
quality,
somewhat
though?
real question to hex the knife juggler. Because it's just more damage. And if
Hunterace
I remember
might be doing
correctly,
just
this deck
anything
doesn't
he
have
can
a
to
lot
just
of
make
healing.
stress
Oh
Viper
wait,
out.
no, this deck has the 4-8 with lifesteal. It has the 4-8 with lifesteal.
It's
And
also a
lifesteal
weird
and
backward
rush.
thing as well.
And
The
Wind
more my
Fury.
opponents
Oh my,
actually
yeah,
control
Walking
deck,
Fountain. Yeah,
the more I'm
Walking
like,
Fountain's in this
"Oh,
deck.
I need to finish this
Which is
game
why the
because they
Ancestral
clearly
Healing is
have
in
the
here.
end- the late game stuff in
A
hand,
lot less card generation
which,
as well.
is
Really
not
have to play
necessarily the correct
around
way to think,
what
because
you have
could
for
be thrown off
resources when
mentally
your
by
opponent
that.
have. Yeah,
But
you
it's something
really have to
think,
think
right?
about,
If
am I
you
overextending my
play
resources?
the news and past every turn, then
A
what
massive
happens?
prize is on the line. Take your time each turn. Exactly. You are not thinking about the current turn. You are thinking about the
Is that
future
enough?
turns, and you are wondering,
Hunterace is
what is
bad.
my opponent going to do?
Just put a 1-1 in and go face. And
No
say,
Draconic Lackey. Oh, so
I mean, it
yeah,
seems just like
this
a
definitely
nice
was a
balance,
Descent of
right? Like,
Dragons, because
Hunterace
there's no
has to
Draconic
scheme
Lackey.
a board like that anyway, and by life tapping.
Why
and
less
playing
card
minimal cards,
generations?
he is setting
I
himself
mean, there's
up
card
for
there's a lot of
the
card
Arcville
generation in this meta.
Farm. It's
There was
just kind of a
lackeys, there was
win-win
random
situation
spells.
for Viper right now.
There
I
was
feel like it's just enough damage.
there was literally
Yeah, test the
Hagatha, the
juggle.
hero card, that
This
every
is
single time you played a
purchase the,
spell, you get another spell.
Lackey in.
Yeah, I think hitting that juggle makes Viper's decision a lot easier.
But
This
yeah,
turn.
Juggler
If he hits
missed
that
the totem,
juggle, he gets
as
to keep all
per
of these
usual.
minions and go face with them all.
And
That
like,
is
look at
plenty
Viper,
to
like,
be in
carefully
play.
considering
One
whether or
abuses
not he was
Sergeant.
gonna, like, play the
It
Lackey.
really is not a big investment. Okay, 2-4 from the
Wow.
Evolve, and Viper committing a little bit more than I thought he would based on the Reform keep. I'll admit, this is not a
We're
playstyle
almost
I'm
getting there. If
familiar
you know that, then you know. We're all looking at
with.
that
He's gonna play
Reform
the
right
lesser
now.
scheme. 2 damage. Clears
I
the
remember
threat
this
on the
match.
ball,
Dude,
leaves
this
the
is the
threat
most
to up,
memorable
and a
match in
bigger
all of
scheme
Hearthstone.
To be able to just guarantee a clear later on due to any grim
Oh my
rallies,
god,
for example.
Mecharoo.
Again,
This is 1 or 2
Hero
weeks
power
after
top.
Rise of Shadows. I think you're right about that.
see what's cooking.
Usually, championships and tournaments have the, like, you want them to play when the meta is fresh and not exactly solved.
We might just wanna dump
Because
it
then
down
it's just
before
gonna
the
be, you know,
farm and say,
meta
I'll
versus
draw
counter
1 to
meta.
2 legendaries a turn.
But this way, you know,
like it.
creativity of your
Actually,
lineups
Hunterace
actually
down to
matters.
half health now.
Yep.
A time where you could still know all the cards in your opponent's deck.
One more time. Oh,
Wait, what does that
Okay.
mean? Meaning that, I mean, wait, what do you mean? No, it's actually not true, because Reform!
and is
Reform!
there only really
Oh
one
yeah, this is also an
bad
MCT was a card! Oh,
funny,
dude,
though.
so many good flashbacks. Oh, this
Wait.
is such a great time to play Hearthstone.
Does Mecharoo have Rush? If you still
Was
live?
this an MCT
Because
play?
they're
I had watched this game so many times.
It should
I feel like
do,
if I remember
yes.
correctly,
I'm
this
not
is
going crazy.
MCT to
Give
hero
a
power,
minion
but it's
rush,
also
it
at
has
15
rush.
right
It does
now.
not
Because
lose.
it wasn't Rush for this turn, is it? It
Right.
just says give
So you get
Rush.
MCT, give it Taunt
Okay,
with
well,
Ancestral Ancestral Spirit,
really
or
good
Ancestral
targets there.
Healing.
He gets the Mecharoo.
Yeah, there it
There's
goes.
Got the
trade into
Mecharoo, got
fight.
the Rush
Viper's
card.
head goes down.
Either that or the
And-
Imp was the best thing to get here.
I'm just going to keep asking questions here. It's the best I've
MCT,
got.
good memories.
with
Okay, so Jiminator,
Reform,
I literally
kept-
beat RDU
Did he
in a
need
giveaway
to go 4 minions wide?
because of
Two of which have
MCT,
Rush,
and I ended
one
up
of them's a
getting
carpet.
a free
I don't know,
G2
but
jersey
did he?
because of an
It's a
MCT
great
high roll. That is
question.
why I love
I
MCT.
mean, it's hard to argue with. You've
But look at
gone
that
in
swing,
once,
though.
You've seen the scheme.
Look at
You've
that
got
swing,
your opponent
though.
down to 15. Like,
Blizzard
every
really needs to get the
fiber of
tournament
fact
scene
that
back
you're
like this.
playing an
This is
aggro
exactly
game
why we're
says,
watching this and why I'm
"My
recording this
opponent has
video.
just used their
Blizzard,
best board
if you're
clear
watching,
and is
the
at half
people
of their
miss
health
this.
total. I'm gonna
It
push my
isn't
chips
just
in and
about
try
the
to kill
competitive
them."
scene.
That is
It
just kind of
isn't
the
just
aggro
about
philosophy.
you know, having like a goal to aspire to. This is what keeps esports and keeps your game relevant. You want that relevancy.
But the decision making here,
like everybody
One more
wants
time?
this back.
does he save cards for
We
Rafarm?
need to get back
Because
to
I
this
honestly
point.
believe
And
playing
now with the
Rafarm
merger
empty
with
hand
with
and then
Activision and
drawing a legendary
Microsoft,
and
there
then
might
having
be
to
some
maybe tap into
actual
another one, which you probably then
financial
can't play.
possibilities of keeping this
It's
alive.
rough, or it's low impact. It's
Like,
very
I
slow.
really hope it's the
so
case,
bad. I
man.
think you do need a choice.
This into
of
Crystallizer,
legendaries to
trade
get
into
high
the,
chance of something good.
The 1-1 and the 3.
Though.
Oh wait, you
He's
can
saying,
into the
"You know
3-3.
what?
Oh, this is such a
Just did
smart
two
play.
powerful anti-aggro things. Please don't have a third, but we could see Scheme or Giggling Inventor. A great choices here.
We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. The Chinese servers are gone now. I mean, you could still do it though.
As well next turn if
You could
want.
still do it, and
Present an
Chinese
additional
players do.
theory here, which is
They have
Viper
access in
has
other
not wanted to
servers,
sit back and
but
life tap too much because he doesn't want to
yeah,
push himself.
I
too
really
close
think
to
that we
the
should
team.
bring it back though.
Whereas
Osmond
with
Gold
Rafarm
might,
and drawing one
laugh,
per turn, he does feel like
as
he
much-
outvalues the Shaman
wait.
over the long term because again,
Osmond
it's not
Gold
like
might
there's
laugh
Dr. Boom and
as
Mega
much
Devastators
as
and so on, and
he
he is
want
playing the even
Hearthstone
longer
competitive
game
scene,
by not
calling
life
anything
tapping and filling up his
that
hand
isn't a
for the
physical card
immediacy
game
of a
lane. But this
strong
is,
Rafarm
dude,
with
like,
a
who cares
handful
about
of
that?
cards.
A card
Yeah,
game is a
maybe.
card game.
Maybe that's
Hearthstone
true.
literally revolutionized
Theory.
the
Yeah, I mean,
industry.
it's all we can work
It's
on.
weird
Because
not
again,
playing
I've not
paperback
tried
tournaments,
exactly
but if
this
anything, this
playstyle
makes the game more
versus
accessible.
exactly this deck.
It's a
Because it-
theory, but it's not one that I'm really sold on. I think
All
what's
right, is it-
actually
I think it's
happening
time.
is that Viper has smelled
is when it
blood and
happens,
just
right?
tried to
This is
kill
the
his
moment.
opponent after his
This is
opponent
the
had a very,
moment
very
that
weak start.
changed
Another absolutely
Hearthstone
reasonable
competitive scenes
And now-
forever.
Solved. It's now or
Yes!
never. Arch-Villain Rafarm.
Okay.
He kept it in his hand. It's on 7.
I
Subject 9,
literally
mediocre.
remember
Not
being in the
painful,
back
very
room of
arguably
Papa
mediocre to
John's,
bad.
like
It does not
screaming,
kill
being
Hunterace.
like,
And
yes!
also, if you're talking about the fatigue, then it's a bad card because he won't want to draw extra. Or will he if he wants to?
Okay, so if
power
I
him
remember
down
correctly,
with
this is where he
legendaries?
plays Swamp
I
King,
honestly
right?
don't know.
One
Rafarm,
way or
the
another.
supreme archaeologist.
Rafarm is deciding this championship.
One of my favorite cards of all time. I played a
Hexen
lot of
Storm Mega.
Rafarm, and I also had the golden
Easily
card.
playable.
It was such a beautiful
Remove the
card.
Rafarm threat and then
'Cause you have a
basically
golden
says,
deck
Hunter-
now.
Hunter's basically saying to Viper, okay. How
Oh,
good is
yeah,
your
right.
average
This is where he
legendary,
hexes.
friend?
Yeah, it makes sense
Because
to
we're
hex
about
here.
to
You don't want to play
find out.
Swamp Queen
And
yet.
I would argue the answer to
So
that
what is the
is
first
not
card that
with
Viper
That's
draws?
it.
He draws
Katrina-
Katrina Muerte on turn 8. This is such an insane card to get.
Okay, that's a good one.
That is a very good card to get considering the rest of his hand. So already
Okay, well,
the
there's
insanity
low
is
minions,
starting.
There's a Rafarm.
But he
Okay,
low rolls,
1-3.
he gets a 1-3. Imagine
Just seen
if
the
he
hex.
got like well, I guess you
And
couldn't get
I
Rafarm because
believe
he got transformed, but still, imagine
that
if he got
6-8
like
is not
a
dying
knife juggler
anytime
or a
soon.
carpet. 1-3 is still pretty good though.
Certainly looks that way.
Such skill, bro.
There is
He
gonna
played
be
the
a big
Rafarm,
old
didn't he?
procession of Zoom
He
minions
chose
coming
to
out
play
from
the
that thing over
Rafarm.
the next few turns.
Does he have to go
And
for
you kind of
something?
have to
He
do
is-
this, right?
so.
Because the Shaman
He needs
has a
something big
lot
next
of
turn.
removal.
Yep.
He can pair it with Ancestral Healing. He can play Ancestral Healing next turn. Let's see
Totemic
what he
might-
gets. Burst looks the
Oh
best
god,
to me,
Elementary
but there is
Reaction.
Elemental
Completely forgot about the
Reaction if
card.
he wants
Rain
to
of
draw.
Toads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rain of
good card to
Toads.
get here for
Or
board.
Storm.
But
Sign
now-
Toads. Draw a card, Rain of Toads.
I shouldn't lean
Yes,
into it.
is.
I'm just gonna
I like
I'm just gonna let it happen.
Does he taunt up the Hagatha?
God, this game fills me.
How
It
scary.
makes me giddy.
Yeah, I think if I
Rewatching this game literally
you're
sends me
asking
back
for
to
your opponent to have
2019.
some kind of legendary that leverages
best year in
from hand
Hearthstone.
and kills this 2/6.
I start to
allow
play
6-8 to
in
do
those
anything
days.
truly
We have
scary.
4 years
It's a
of
big
playing
ask.
or
I
something
think
like
if
that.
anything, taunting up the 5/5 gives.
I don't
Viper
have
a
Golden
better
Rafarm,
attack
but I
by
have Golden
just killing the
ETC with
5/5
Rafarm
with
in
6-8
it.
as opposed to
Loopholes.
Yeah, I was just thinking because of potential Lightning Storm next turn.
Oh no, not Katrina. Flashbacks
you're okay
to
with that, but maybe you
greetings,
can do that
fellow
anyway.
humans.
Yeah, I mean that just moves the ball from your court to your opponent's court, right? By taunting it up.
Taunt Totem, definitely not bad. Solves that problem in my book.
The crowd. Listen to the crowd. The casters are speechless of
No
all
words.
cards to get.
Nope.
Azalina, as if the game was not already ridiculous
This is
enough.
the moment.
Let's see.
I'm
what
actually
happened
getting
to play
chills
around.
too, dude. Look at Hunterace's face.
Azalina Soul Thief. Viper, first things first, he checks the horror. Realizes
Yo, what's going on,
that
Guto?
Hunterace has a very powerful tempo turn, and look at Casper's face.
I don't even know how to respond.
Azalina takes me back to Togwaggle Druid. Oh, dude, I played so much Togwaggle Druid. And then he does that. It's another minion. It's unfortunately a frog, but it is a taunt to kind of... Well, I mean, the taunt doesn't matter now because you got the 6-8. But it's like...
Even Viper.
Dude, just imagine being in this situation, though. Like, just imagine being in this situation. Would you get tilted? Like, you have to think about everything now. Your opponent knows what's in your hand. This is so massive.
One of the most stoic Hearthstone players I've ever seen in my life.
Imagine if it didn't Hex. Good point. Like, oh my god, like, what are you supposed to do? It's Soddle and Raven casting.
Has not disappointed in any way, and it's not even
exactly.
Over
you
yet.
can't afford to tilt when there's so much on the line. You have to have resilience.
That the Walking Fountain wasn't already in his hand too, because that would be truly great.
Okay, so Walking Fountain, trade into 6-8, trade at Magatha.
What on earth was going on with
trade again with Walking Fountain, restore his health.
He had double ancestral healing in his hand. Okay, that makes sense.
Spell damage totem. Okay, so that gives us reason to potentially Lightning Storm.
And
this was when Lightning Storm was its original text.
If Hunterace doesn't play
where it overloaded
2 first here,
and dealt 2 to 3 damage.
To do it before him and really push him on.
So if he rolls the 4 on everything, he can trade the and now he has the Nat Pig, and the Nat Piggle survives. All right, this is important. He missed a 50-50. Nat Piggle survives.
He's not going to roll spell damage because he's a warlock.
Yeah.
The Froggy Boys jump down. Even the healing totem getting a little bit of value.
All right, Nat Piggle's still there.
Grifter. Discover 2 cards. Give 1 to your opponent, 1 to yourself.
Oh my god, dude! There are just so many
Crazy
insane
card,
things
not
that
the best
happen
constructed
here.
card in the world, but again, Viper.
Lightning Storm with a random 2 to 3 damage.
Could play it.
And in case that's confusing anyone,
now Hunter doesn't know what he can play around. I know, right? Like you can't play around anything. They're random legendaries.
Which of those 2 cards you pick goes
you just have to hope that like you have the answers.
Viper's hand actually
this meta was amazing. It really was. I hated Doom in the Tomb, but Rise of Shadows was a great meta to play. Lackeys could be a little bit frustrating at times.
Viper's refarmed deck something to do that isn't just playing an idiot every turn.
Guys,
but is that competitive? Is what competitive?
Deciding game of the World Championship. Okay, what does Viper pick? Because these decisions get hard. Do you want to give Hunterace a good minion?
What is my life right now? What even is Hearthstone?
What even is Hearthstone?
You hand over a lot of the time the tempo.
We've already picked Corsair, right? It's a 50-50 on giving him like the bad card. Or do you go with like the Etten? Because if he gets the Etten, well, you don't really want to give him Etten, right?
Let's see what the picks were.
Okay, he gives him Gurabashi, so he just goes with like, I get a good card or I get an okay card.
So he just picked 2 5-drops, 2 decent cards?
I guess.
Hogger.
Draws a card, gets a Hogger.
Frogger.
Hogger into Frogger.
I'm just gonna see what happens because this game is.
You gotta admit, dude, like Raven and Soddle are just some of the best casters because not necessarily because of their analytics, but they just rip off each other perfectly. They have the perfect banter.
Overloaded enormous.
Yeah,
Furious Etten, I played that card in my first ever Warlock deck. Dude, there's a lot of nostalgia in this game.
To keep his frogs alive.
But it's like, imagine if you were in this position right now.
Terrifying, though. Hex a 5/5.
Yo, Abdov coming in with the follow. Good to have you here, man.
Can be in those remaining 13
They've always had
cards.
chemistry, yeah.
That's true, but I think you need to make some strides. I don't think he can have a lackluster turn.
I mean, the big problem is that he can't play many of his other cards because the way this board is paired down, he can't kill off any of his own minions.
Yeah, he can't. He has to. Yeah, this is actually a perfect turn to set up the Witch's Brew. He's overloaded a ton. He only gets, 8 healing off of it, but going from 12 to 20, that's important. And you do still have the Walking Fountain in hand. So this is just the best way to make the, this is the best case. Like, this is how you make the best of a bad situation.
There are cards that may change that.
So you put yourself at 20, keeping the HP on the frog, so that way it's harder to clear all of this. But Nat Piggle rolls the 50-50 and hits Fargoth with Lightning Storm in it!
Sign me up, Soddle, because that will do it. I know it, you know it, Viper knows it, and let's be honest, if you can hear that, the crowd definitely know it.
Vargoth Lightning Storm. He's a Warlock, and he's casting Vargoth Lightning Storm this turn, Raven.
Everything about this game is just insane!
Viper, though, this is huge, and Hunterace's face.
Imagine if he didn't go for the healing 8, he'd be at 1 life.
Wrecked.
Or going into the next turn, he'd be at 1 life. Behold! I literally remember screaming out being, I said in the back of the restaurant, no fucking way.
But I don't think you can just leave stuff up. I think it's too much of a swing. Look at the damage you push.
There is an argument to trade the 2-4 and the 4-5 to push 5 damage. And if I remember correctly, does he do it? I don't think he does.
I think he pushes 5 damage.
Yeah, he doesn't do it.
Passes, okay. Hunterace can't believe it.
Look at his face.
Now he has to keep his composure. There's a mic.
MCT?
Every draw. Woo! Every draw is like a boxer in a Rocky movie just throwing another enormous right hand at his opponent.
You can get up, Rocky. Get up, you bum.
So of course the film is 3 hours long.
Okay, what does MCT hit? It hits the 5-5, debatably the best one there. Maybe Vargoth could have been better, but keep in mind, Hunterace knows the spells that are in his opponent's hand.
Spells that really benefited at this point.
Oh my god, Giggling Inventor going from 5 to 7,
now
never forget.
The low cost turn here.
Draws off of the pellet, draws off the Nat Pagel again, rolls a 50-50. This is a hugger turn, right?
Was Viper the chosen one all along? Was Rafam the chosen one all along?
The redemption story of Rafam.
Yo, Numbers coming in with the follow. Good to have you here, man. We're watching Hearthstone history. This is the most historically amazing. This is Hearthstone.
Means that Viper has less mana to play with.
Hearthstone.
That is the
Whenever anyone asks you like how cool Hearthstone is, you show them this game. You see the passion. You see the back and forth is what makes this series so insane.
Have the tools to beat this level.
I have never actually seen this, bro. You are not ready then. Crowd gives it away that he had to play it this turn. They have noise canceling headphones, so they can't hear the crowd.
No, he did not. It just looked funny with the animations.
Because yeah, there are a lot of those moments during this tournament where like the crowd goes fucking insane.
To start chipping away at this ball.
Am I the only person here that I don't get excited by rating effects winning the game? I mean, think of it this way. If you don't have a chance to win and you have to go for like a high roll and it works, dude, that's excitable. Like, yeah, there's one person that gets something taken away, but it's the way to make, you know, an unfavored matchup possible to win. So that way everything isn't just coming down to like, you know, isn't just coming down to my deck is going to beat yours because my deck is just naturally better. Random effects create exciting games to watch. Yes, 100% paid for it. You stole the sentence right out of my mouth.
Well, to this Vargoth and say, no more, friend.
Most people would be mad, see too much random. Nah, I disagree, dude. You can have the right amount of random. I keep saying Magnum, that's just a new card. But Hagatha, the hero card.
Yeah. Like I said, he has the minions that can trade, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
On Dasta...
There's a Stranglethorn Tiger in his hand.
The random Stranglethorn Tiger!
Stranglethorn Tiger in his hand, Raven, that he picked from a
good old Yogg decks. Never forget the Yogg decks. By the way, what's going on, Fresh Favorites and Janilla? Good to have you guys here.
Why do we even need notes?
I'm doing great, dude. We are revisiting one of the best games. No, this is the best game, actually.
There we go.
The best game in Hearthstone history. The most insane game we've ever actually seen.
We don't need Zoo cards anymore.
And then you actually get Griffin value.
Card in
and look,
Hearthstone.
it's like, what?
Hunterace just cannot believe it. He's receiving mental blow to mental blow. Farsight now. It's going to be able to dig a little bit deeper and maybe get what I feel now is a trademark Hagatha pull.
I know, right? Like, dude, he actually said, "What the fuck?"
I feel like he needed Hagatha
like,
several turns ago.
You could go back
like all of these minions
and
that are
see
in play
him
right
mouth
now
the words, "What the fuck?"
if he was going to keep up with this from Viper.
I've talked to a lot of people, and most of them hate it when they see the word random in a strategy game. Bro, I understand, but this is a card game. The fact that you are drawing cards off the top automatically means there's randomness. The randomness makes you remember the game. This game would not nearly be as memorable as it actually is if it weren't for this randomness.
That hasn't just
it's not
like a giant
the thing that people got to understand is that it's not about the randomness being in the game, it's about how you use the randomness. When you go for it. Do you go for the safe line, or do you risk it for the biscuit? It is really what makes this game so great, in my opinion.
And maybe he wants the spell damage for the sick Caligos.
Exactly, this randomness was controlled.
Now the Viper.
Not
Tom
now.
is
Yeah, there's a
giving
lot of
Venter.
randomness you can't really
He
control.
feels under threat and kind of so
Please
should.
tell me there's going to be some
He
nuts cards off
absolutely is under
Kalagos.
threat.
We'll
There's a
get
lot
to
of
that. We'll
damage
get to
being
there, man.
represented on the board.
Trust me, this game is nuts.
I'll say
Clark
the
spitting,
good
bro.
thing
I only
for
spit
Hunterace
facts.
Now is
Now,
he's seen most
I
of
love
the
Yogg,
cards.
honestly. But
Right?
there's a reason
Yeah.
why they
So
nerfed
now he's
Yogg,
back
because
to
that's when they were like,
almost,
okay,
well,
come on,
he's
it's a
got
little bit
random
too insane.
legendaries. Let's see what this far sight's going to be, though.
6-mana
Shudder?
Shudder
The 6-mana
Okay.
Shudderwalk!
That is a
Yes.
high value minion right now.
I forgot
Does he-
Shudderwalk was at this
Wait,
deck.
does he want to play it before Hagatha?
This was
because he's-
literally the
he's the
definition
aggressive
of
with the minion
tempo
focus, it's not
Shudderwalk,
ideal
because
for
this
his
wasn't a
pickup.
combo
Possible, but he
Shudderwalk
does have
deck,
the Twilight
which
Drake in
I
his
think
hand, which
still
does
saw
make it
some
better
play
on
at
the
this
following
time,
turn
right?
Anyway. But I like
Yeah,
the
because like
thinking.
Hunterace
It's a
went with
very,
like a
very
different
good
idea. He
Shudderwalk
went for a
right now.
control shaman instead of a Shudder shaman.
Gets a Drusvar again.
He gets a Drusvar again, and he casts the Battle Cry of the one that he's already
Mind
played.
This was
Control
at, oh
tech,
wait, this
mind
actually
control
might
tech,
have been after they
giggling
nerfed Chain Gang. I
inventors.
think you're right. And that
Is
did
this
kind of kill
Gurabashi
Shudderwalk.
Berserker that Viper gave to Hunterace going to be a potentially game-winning
God, I forgot about that nerf.
Why are we saying this in the last game of
Because
a World
this
Cup?
is
Master
our
Shaw!
lives now, Raven. This is what we do.
Now there's a Hellmaster Shaw. It means
With
class
the
9
Divine
can
Shield
attack
minion.
in the same turn it's played.
With which
Chain Gang wasn't it standard at this point? Yeah, it was.
silly.
Oh wait, no, it rotated out. Yeah, you're right. It did rotate out at this
It
point.
took me a minute to realize. Why are we casting Hunter, Paladin, Mage, Shaman cards?
And it's like
into-
Viper can't afford to tap at this point. I'm kind of blocking
One
it
last
right
time,
now.
for old sake.
But
It's
Viper's
pretty
got 10 cards left in deck. I'm sorry, Hunterace has 10 cards left in deck. Viper has 6.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
come on.
Take the Shudderwalk.
Game now, you're just being silly.
Fucking for the tap though. I was literally just saying that, like, going for the tap. Like, he's actually just going all in for pressure. He's trying to out
5-1
pressure him. That's
going
why.
into a 5-6 removes a huge amount of the problem for Viper. Four
It's just
minions
so
in play, though.
insane, and it hasn't even gotten to the apex yet.
And Viper is going to value trade. The mind control tech in this Shudderwalk is live.
Oh god, it
Sign
is.
Hunterace up for one
It is.
Shudderwalk,
Viper didn't
please.
play around the Shudderwalk
It's gotta be
technically.
the walk.
Yeah, it's not getting any better, right?
Oh my god, imagine if Shudderwalk
Yes, you kill
MCTs
two
the
minions.
Shaw.
You can kill off the Shaw, you can kill off the 1-2, leave 2
Shudder
attack
ended up
minions
being the
on
last
board.
resource in
The
Quest,
Walking
Galakrond,
Fountain,
and Elemental
whether you
Shamans.
heal it
Yeah,
or
yeah,
not,
use it
is
as like a
dead
massive
if you
thing.
do that. If
Yo,
that is the
Warshak
plan.
coming in with the raid.
You've got to say it has
Guys,
limited
we are
impact
watching
right now.
Hearthstone history here.
Farsight, if it draws Hagatha, like I said,
We
I
are
don't
watching
think that's good
history
enough.
unfold.
Hunterace is hovering the walk.
Okay, I'm gonna move the chat. I probably should have done
He's
this
still very
earlier,
ahead
but
in
I'm gonna move it over
fatigue.
here.
With 2 cards now. That was a 4-mana
Just so
giggling
that way,
event. He can still
oh my
walk.
god, dude. This
But
is
now he
literally
might
the
get
most nuts
cursed.
game that has
Why
ever
he
happened.
doesn't. He goes now, and you
Looks
know
like a
what?
child
Let's just
catcher
see what's
from
gonna
the
happen.
chitty gong bang.
The big health he does, even though the
And the
Omega
Shudderwalk
Defender
doesn't steal the
didn't activate the
Shaw,
first
but
time
it
around,
does do
still
a
just
lot. Oh my
recheck
god,
again.
look at that value,
And
dude.
look at all this value, look at all this board pressure.
That walk has just opened
So
up
the
lead
question
towards
is,
16
how does
attack
Viper
and 16
sustain?
health.
Yep.
Means Viper has to be a little bit worried. High Priestess Jetlick means that it's going to be a taunt
Did
with
someone-
lifesteal along
did
with
someone
Witch's
want a
Brew.
Kalagos?
Means that there's a chance, but there is frankly 1 million attacks on the board for Hunterace now.
Remember,
Like, you have to
everything
roll the
has rush.
Kalagos. There's no other way to survive. Azalina a second time, like, you have to find the nuts, and I don't even think there's anything you can find in his deck.
With a Kalagos.
Finds the Demon Bolt
That doesn't
so he
look
can
good
kill
to
the
me.
Shudderwalk!
The best he can do is a Witch's Brew, and isn't he
Hunterace
just dead?
parading!
He has 0 mana
So
destroyer.
this doesn't
didn't
work!
know.
He
I
has
didn't
0
see.
mana
I didn't
destroyer
see.
minion, Raven.
I'm an idiot. Oh,
Keeps himself alive, the
I
back
can't
and
take
forth.
much more of
This is
on.
when randomness is amazing. Like, seriously.
Where's the Saranite?
Hey, look
chain
at how
gang?
stressed he
Because I
is,
don't
bro.
know how much longer
World
this can go on.
champion title on the line.
Viper has a Witch's Brew in hand, which shuts down any kind of aggressive push from
Everyone is
Hunterace.
rooting for
What does the
Hunterace,
Drusvar
right? Yeah, honestly, though, I hate to say it, but Viper is usually like
Drusvar
the
check.
villain in a lot of instances. This is Viper's second
Feral Spirit,
World
Totemic
Championship
Smash,
finals
fairly,
game.
minimal.
He
It's
literally
more
made
than
it to the
that. Feral
finals
Spirit
of World
is
Yeah, it's good.
Championship
You take
twice,
that. Off a
and
random
both times,
Drusvar, you take that.
everybody was rooting for the other
And
person.
remember the Totemic
I
Smash
was
is
also
aimable.
rooting for
It's not
Hunterace
just like
because this was
throw it out there,
the
Zoldyar
year of
style.
Hunterace.
You can aim that
He
to
kind of just
damage,
like
which might
I
end
don't
up
know
being
how
clutch,
long he was
right?
on the scene, but like I think he's the youngest
Kalikos
competitor
has
at
to
this
go,
point.
right?
Why?
Like, this was before
It's a
Gabby.
4-12. Is there going to be a bigger thing to Hex in those remaining 4 cards?
It is only dealing for a turn.
And now
with
he's
one
dealing
attack
more
song.
pressure, puts
I don't think
Viper
he does.
at 5
There
life.
are no spells outside of one Witch's Brew. Not Pagel.
So yeah, you could Witch's Brew, play Azalina. But if you go for Azalina, then whatever spell you get off the Azalina, you can play it with the Malagos. We know there's a Hex in hand.
Now, does Viper have to make a gamble, Azalina, and hope there is a spell?
He is definitely
can
aging
cast
right
for
in front of
free
our
to
eyes.
save
Poor
it.
guy looks
Witch's
stressed.
He already has it.
Only
Next turn.
gaining 1 pack each time. Okay, so he goes to the Witch's Brew. He re-gives the Divine Shield.
He goes up to full, but I mean, he can use it all, the whole Witch's Brew this turn.
Oh yeah, and then he can
but
play
can't
Jekyll.
afford to.
And then he keeps getting the Divine Shield back.
Does he have any other options?
Play Jekyll.
Yeah, I
Jekyll
don't
also
know,
has
it's
Font
just- it's
and
a very
Life
slow
Steal.
turn.
Sorry, just look at this glass knight just chilling. Just, oh, another Divine Shield. Oh, another Divine Shield.
He is going to stop and drop the Jet Click,
Yeah.
which I do agree
Oh,
with.
but
I think
dude,
they needed
imagine
to
if
do
he didn't
something
find
else
Shaw!
this turn.
Every single legendary at this
Mana.
point is
He's only
so
got 3 cards left, so I
massive.
can't see the Pagel getting anything.
You
going
can't
here.
play Pagel because
may
you got
as well
3 cards
Witch's
left
Brew.
in deck. Hunterace sitting
he's
at
on a
5
minion or
cards
his
left.
own
I'm
face.
covering the thing.
I think Hellmaster Shaw.
This
I
makes
see
me
a lot more
miss
attacks
watching
there,
GM every week, honestly.
Go to the
I
face.
would argue
Okay.
that
Well, look,
GM...
we're stomping
There
towards
were
the end here.
no
Still
games in
Hacker
GM
draw.
that were nearly as hype as this one.
That's
I literally do not remember a single game of GM.
Hunterace
And I
is
watched like a
staying
decent amount of it.
relatively toe-to-toe here without even having access to his
I think
Hacker
that last face healing was wrong.
Turns out Shudderwock's hell of a card.
And Viper
Well,
has a chance of stealing.
yeah,
the
because
Agatha
maybe
for
you want to
himself
trade. Yeah,
if
maybe
he
you
can
want to like
time
buff up
Azalina.
the Kaligos back to
But he's got
12.
no minions left.
I can understand the worry though, because you don't want to die to fatigue.
Like,
Hunterace is at 4 cards in deck. Viper's at 3. So you have to hope that these
this Divine
legendaries
Shield,
can
they keep
outvalue your
working no
opponent to
matter
where
what.
I mean,
at the late
that
stages of the
last knight
game you
gained, like,
can't
6
lose your
Divine
board.
Shields last turn, but it doesn't quite work that way.
Nope.
Like, look at how good these ancestral
Hunterace on full
healings
health.
were.
And
Putting it on the
slightly
walk
ahead
on
of
the
fatigue.
fountain.
But you've got to say, he just has
Yo,
more access
Tep B
to
coming in
heal-
with the follow.
heal
Get that out of here,
potential than Viper does.
They make
because
choices
of
so
the hackers
fast,
coming
not
down.
really roping at all. There's a lot of roping
I
still.
think Hunterace
But
is
I
too
think
far
Viper,
ahead,
I think Hunterace literally
outside of a Death
ropes
Wing,
every
in
single
which there's-
turn.
I'm staring at a Hex.
If I remember correctly.
That might be what Hunterace is saving the Hex for, you know. Literally a Deathwing.
You might be right.
What one card beats him now?
You might
Deathwing
be
off
right.
the top, slam it game.
Only Deathwing saves
This
Viper.
3-2 change the equation.
Yeah,
more
random
than a
Deathwing
random
would be
Agatha
insane.
card
Nozdormu is not the right
Nostormu,
dragon though.
That doesn't look good enough to me.
All right, here's the standard of how ridiculous this game is. Nozdormu was drawn, and you could hear a pin drop in this arena. No one cares about Nozdormu. That is the standard we've set.
And then he
This
goes
is it,
for the
Azalina for a
Azalina. Has
dream.
0 mana Hex with the
And there's the zero
Pyromancer.
mana
So
Hex
he can
because
clean up the
Kalikos
board.
is still on the board, but subtle, is it enough?
Pyromancer as well. That's kind of the business right now.
My
This is
lord.
the most insane game that's ever been played, dude. Like, seriously, the back and forth.
Second
When
Azalina.
Hunterace looks
onto
like he's
the
ahead,
farm as
Viper
well.
pulls himself back.
Still no Hagatha for
There's so much
Hunterace.
back and forth happening
Drupa
in this
Horror
game.
Looks good to me. Totemic Smash can clear off one of these minions. Even
see
given
the white
Totem,
hairs
which
growing.
I think any minion is good right now.
Yeah.
Yo, what's
Maybe
going on,
He
Shane?
just pushes.
Okay, wait, it was
coming
Feral.
back
Okay,
right at
Feral
him, though,
Spirit
he
and
knows.
Totemic Smash. So he gets
He knows
the
the very
it
same
fires
thing is
randomly,
coming
right?
back.
Like he
This
doesn't
is
get
now
to choose the
quickly
options.
becoming a fairly solvable situation on both sides.
Surely he wants to go first, though, right?
So it's like, what do you? Okay, so you
for
trade
sure.
to the Kalgos.
It's just when I say that, I'm saying
can
he's considering,
horror.
do I play pyros with it? Do I play 1 pyro with it, 2 pyros with it? What am I going to do to leverage my 2-3s
Oh god,
against
dude,
his 2-3s
I
next
would
turn?
fold under
Is
this
this going to be
pressure.
double pyro?
This is where I would
it's
totally
going for
fold
horror,
under the
right?
pressure. You could play the horror. Oh, you get to target with the horror. Never mind. This is
Going
100%
on
the
the
play.
pyro. Viper literally has no
100%
spells
play
left
here.
in the deck unless some legendaries or his last 2 legendaries generate them.
Yeah.
And I think Hunterace might just be one step ahead because Totemic Smash does not deal with this board.
He chooses
And he
to
also hasn't drawn
not
his hero
overkill
card
as
yet.
opposed to overkill though, which is
He
kinda
gets a
interesting in that
Gruul!
scenario. Gruul.
The Dragon Killer, I believe, is the full title, not official. Hearthstone, of course. But
Okay,
still,
so you can trade into the 2/3,
that's
get rid of the
a
totem.
big minion.
get some
but
taunts
is
on the
one
field,
big
play
minion
Pyromancer.
enough? There's only one more draw left, and unless
But if I remember correctly, this is when Feral Spirit overloaded for 2, right?
and the next draw
You'd be a fool not to play Gruul.
I think that's going to be
Honestly, like, well, actually, no. He can't
said
play
that
the
about 50
Gruul.
times this
Because
series,
remember, Viper
so
looked at the
quite
hand.
likely to
He
be
knows
wrong.
that there's Hex in hand. So he can't play Gruul. Remember, he knows
right,
this.
though. Hagatha, bottom 3 as hero form.
Exactly, he
played
knows
top
the
lane,
Hex.
but not Hagatha the Witch.
Look at that Hex cost
would've-
4 mana and
Hunter's-
Shaman wasn't
Hunter's hand
able
would
to
be full
hero
right
power
now.
with
He's
4
kept
basic
up.
totems
Yeah,
on the
it's
board. That
somehow
time was
he's
clearly
kept
worse.
up.
His hand will be full. And Viper's Azalina twice.
Yes. For what?
So much back and forth,
4
dude, I
cards
know.
And somewhere in the region of
This is
I
this is
think
why I
it's
love
the first one
randomness.
bigger.
Whenever I want to
Oh,
defend
yeah,
randomness in
bigger,
Hearthstone, I
yeah.
show people this game.
Here we go. The Viper
This
saying,
game
"I've got
is
to
what
do
makes
this.
things
I
memorable."
hope it's enough. I can play the Wild Pyromancer,
That's all he's got.
and now he's slightly ahead on board.
And now there's only like
He's
one
only
card
overloaded for 2,
that
which
Viper
means
has
Gruul
left
can be
in
played
deck.
next turn.
He now has this board plus a Gruul plus
Still
one
doesn't find the
random
Hagatha.
legendary minion remaining. That random legendary minion can be another Azalina, and then we're back to
And that's
square one
that's
again.
exactly
It
the
can be
reason why
all manner
Hunterace is
of
holding
things.
on
It
to
can
the
be
Hex.
a Jan'alai.
He needs it in case of an oh shit situation. Like you could do it here, but you don't know what the last
The big
2
question is
cards are.
Hex.
You are fine to wait another turn. You're at
Hunterace
30
would
life,
probably
and you're
love
winning
to
on
save
fatigue right
minions
now.
for Hagatha.
And the last card is
Oh, he's
Blood
done
Mage.
enough. That is terrible. There are better non-legendary
I mean,
team
yeah,
drops at the
while
moment in
30,000
time.
people
And that
enjoyed,
is
who cares
game.
about one player
I
getting
don't know
older
how
in
he
front of
fishes
him?
himself out.
I'm looking at our answers.
Back
on
in the day, we
Hunterace's
used to
board
watch
and
people
in
beat up
Hunterace's
each
hand
other in a
for
coliseum,
everything
and now
that
we
he
just
needs
watch
to
people play
answer.
random card
The board
games.
pairs down evenly right now. There's a Hex for Gruul. Blood Mage is irrelevant.
Blood Mage gets him to
Yeah,
death
Blood
quicker
Mage
because
is like
of
a
the
worse
fatigue.
card to get here, dude.
And without
And it's
even
like,
I think
you
it-
can kind
throwing
of like
Hagatha would
assume
win
that
this
Viper
game.
has no way of winning now.
Surely in fatigue at this point.
But
Gruul has
at
to
the
be
same
played.
time, man, like
Viper's
Hunterace
got
is like,
no
oh god,
choice.
what else can
And
I
as you
do?
said, the board is even. But Viper knows there's a Hex. He knows.
We gotta wait for the moment though.
hexed.
Dude, oh my god,
He
imagine if it was
knows it's
Mecha'thun.
He knows
Well,
Gruul's dead.
Mecha'thun would get hexed though. And
is
again,
that-
Viper
is
knows
that
that it's in
That is
hand.
Hagatha.
Sorry, not Swamp.
Just the
Hagatha the Witch. Apologies,
The game's over.
but still, that
But
looks
yeah, does
like
the
game
thing, plays Pyro,
to
gets
me.
a spell. And exactly, you
That's
could
really
bait out the
to
Hex with the
this and
Gruul.
take the
Again,
damage from the
Hunterace
5/3
doesn't
this
know what
turn,
the last
or play
card
the
is.
Hagatha this turn and take the damage from
But
the Gruul.
Agatha
think
deals
it's 'cause it was
3,
worst case.
only
It
makes
was
the
like
one
Pyro,
Gruul a
Pyro,
threat.
Hex, right?
You play the Wild Pyromancer.
Best case scenario, he can kill this.
And of
8
all
without
cards,
using a Hex,
to
and
win
then
the
he beats Deathwing
championship,
as the last
there is
card as well.
Totemic Might
He can kill it
to
now
knock
with
out the
Totemic
Gruul
Might.
to where now it
Clean
doesn't
it
matter
up,
what the
I
last
believe.
card is.
Even
He can
in
hex
a
it, but
completely
Viper
sold
knows that
game,
it's over.
Hunterace finds
And that
a way
is the most
to
insane
maximize
game
his
that has ever been
chances.
played in Hearthstone.
And after beating a seemingly unbeatable Rafarm, everything came together for that deck in the situation we've been talking
look at
about
the setup,
all
dude.
week. And Hunterace, without even access to his value generator, beats it out and becomes your new Hearthstone World Champion.
Totemic Might, the best card ever printed, dude. And you have all the Hearthstone personalities that were there. Killing all day, Language Hacker, Bloody Face, Frodan back when he, oh god, Just Saying as well. Oh my god, this was the timeline, dude. This was the
好的，
timeline.
让我们在这里掌声恭喜我们的 Hunterace 成为了我们的2019龙狮战界 CD 世界总冠军。
Just look at him, dude. Look at how much
哇
this
最后呢，
means
以
to
神之
him.
右手解开了世界上最焦灼的战局，不止成为了运气最好，也成为了世界上最强的男人。现在心情怎么样呢？我们邀请 Forden 为我们来做赛后访问。
Okay, hold on.
Yes, Forden, for
So
the
there's
winning
Kibler,
interview.
there's Killing All Day.
Hunterace,
There's,
that was an
there's
incredible
Bunny
finish to the
Hopper.
World Championship. Please tell me, what is going through your mind this very moment?
Oh my god, that's admirable.
恭喜你获得
There's
世界冠军，
Tice.
可以跟大家分享一下你现在的心情吗？ I don't know.
A9 numbers, I forget exactly what his name was, but yeah, Killing All Day.
Oof. It's been like such a long journey to get here, and like actually delivering now that I'm in the tournament,
Imagine how hard
winning the tournament is so
his
big
heart
for
is
me.
beating right
Like,
now.
It means so much. I'm incredibly grateful.
He literally can't breathe properly, dude. I wouldn't be able to either.
I don't know that. Oof.
Woo. Like, just look at everyone that's on that stage right now, dude. Bunny Hopper actually has hair.
What was the hardest obstacle to overcome in order to
Oh yeah, and
become
then
a
there's
world champion?
Tom, the previous world championship, the previous world champion.
And
then there's Nalgi Dan.
This entire tournament has been super.
Well, yeah, I know, tight. Like, everyone just looks so much
There's been a lot
younger.
of situations that I maybe could look back on and like tell you like super close decisions and such, but
Oh, dude, music.
I don't know,
No, that
I
was
really just wanna
the
thank everyone that has been helping me
Explorers
helping
theme.
me throughout the preparation period.
Bunny
because I
Hopper
felt
actually
like
has hair.
That was the most crucial part of this tournament because it was right after rotation and it was such a big deal what lineup you ended up bringing. And also I want to like give
Oh
a
god, this
huge
was
thanks,
this
like,
was yeah, this was
everyone
right
in
after
the
the
Hearthstone community.
rotation.
Everyone has been so supporting and it's really incredible.
我非常这一路打下来，非常多的困难，有很多很难的决定，然后有很多非常优秀的对手。
There's
那我
Monsanto.
可以一一的跟他们交手，然后做出最正确的决定，然后让我一路走到这边，我觉得很荣幸。
All right, my last question, Hunterace. You were the points leader. You were the promised one. You were the one that people were betting on packs. How's it feel
God,
to
I
live
miss
up to the
Frodan,
hype
dude.
as the Wonder
I
Boy
miss
of Hearthstone?
Frodan being
It's
the
incredible.
I miss
It's,
Frodan being
it's
the
really
hype man of
amazing.
Hearthstone.
I can't really describe it. Like,
Yeah, there's also
it hasn't
orange.
Really gotten through me yet. I'm just like thinking of all that random legendaries and
The
everything just
nostalgia,
going through
dude.
my
Like
head,
this is the most nostalgic
it's
game ever.
amazing.
Like seriously.
Yeah.
We all miss Frodan. TFT, bring him back! Oh wait, was Colento there too? I don't see him.
你在这几年的表现都非常的好，去年又拿到3星大师，又是全球分数最高的选手。那现在呢，又拿到了世界冠军，证明你人中之龙的地位。那你这一路，你现在的感觉是怎么
God,
样
dude,
然后
Brian
会说
Kibler aged
我觉得这
like
一路走来非常不容易。那我
it's
非常
insane
感
how much
动然后我也
Brian
很荣
Kibler's
幸我
aged
可
since
以
this moment.
拿
And it's
到
4
这个世界
years,
冠
but
军
still. Dude does not have a single gray hair in his head though.
Congratulations! You are the winner of 2019 City World Champions! Okay, and we're going to present the trophy. Let's welcome.
And now the moment that every single Hearthstone player wishes that they could. Like, this is the moment that you grind for.
At City World Champion Tom 60229，掌声欢迎我们大哥以及我们的 Sam， 我们来进行颁奖。Please present the trophy to Hunterace.
Ah, chills, dude. Chills. Yeah, dude, Fina was there too. Like all the good players were there, dude. All the best players in the world. I'm tearing up a little bit. I'm not even lying. I'm actually tearing up watching this. I'm not. Yeah, why wasn't I there? I'm not gonna lie. I tried to go for it, dude. And that is the beauty. Like, look at the crowd. Look at everyone that wants this to be a thing. I guarantee you that if Hearthstone was still supporting competitive Hearthstone, all these people would come back. Every single one of them. It's a hell of a stage with some of the best minds that the game has ever seen. And please, Blizzard, if you are watching this, we need to recapture this moment. The passion for Hearthstone is still there. It is still there. A lot of people wish that this was still a thing that we could be doing. And, like, we just need a good ecosystem in order for people to support this. Oh, yeah, there's also Firebat there, too, dude. Tyler as well. Like, my God, like, the amount of names, the amount of people. Like, oh my God, Hearthstone can go through a renaissance. We just have to support it. But that'll pretty much do it here. But yeah, if you liked this game, this proves that randomness really does create memorable moments. Because if the randomness wasn't in this game, aka if Rafam wasn't printed, then we would not be talking about this right now. It is 4 years later, and I am still thinking about this game.